We had a really interesting development that kind of came out earlier this morning. The Lakers apparently flew out Luka Doncic, and apparently he participated in shoot-around this morning. And it was kind of interesting seeing Luka actually being out there, given this is an away game and he wasn't technically traveling with the team. And he shows up and he shoots around, and it started making people feel like, hey, is this guy actually going to play against the Memphis Grizzlies tonight? Right? He was already kind of questionable. There was already a chance that he may actually have played. And most recently, the Lakers have actually upgraded him to probable, which means there's a good chance Luka actually ends up playing today. Now, it's not 100% guaranteed, but being probable does mean that you have a real shot to play. And this changes everything for the Lakers because, since Luka had obviously gotten hurt and he didn't play for the Lakers, Marcus Smart missed time at the same exact time as Luka kind of went out. Gabe Vincent has the ankle injury. He's out for 2 to 4 weeks. The Lakers struggled a little bit, right? The first game without those guys, obviously Austin Reeves kind of did his thing, went for 51 points. But then they struggled, right? They didn't have the ball handlers, too many turnovers. And obviously having Marcus Smart back, which was kind of already expected, would have helped the Lakers. But now there's a chance Luka's also back. And he's actually officially probable for this game. Now I should also just throw this out there. Marcus Smart actually spoke about this during the workout this morning, right? During the shoot around. And he actually said himself that he will likely play tonight. And he went through a good workout during shoot around. So Marcus Smart himself basically said he's good to go and he plans to play. So the Lakers are getting healthy. At least the worst case scenario, Luka doesn't play. But you do get Marcus Smart back. Best case scenario, both Luka and Marcus Smart are back against the Memphis Grizzlies. And this is an important game, obviously, right? I want to kind of talk about some of what I want to see from this game. And there's also a LeBron James update that kind of came out from Shams. Kind of interesting, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. But let's talk about this Grizzlies game a little bit because the Lakers, they've looked good over the first couple of games. And they're 3-2. They're at the point where they can continue to add. They can continue to get healthy. Jackson Hayes came back for the first time in the last game. And he looked really, really good, right? I'm not going to lie to you guys. Against Minnesota, I felt Jackson Hayes, he was defending shots. He didn't have a lot of points, but he only took 2 shots. I felt like he looked good out there. And I think the other part of it is the spacing, the screen game, the hustle, right? And I think hustle is a very, very important factor for teams to have success. And Jackson Hayes did a lot of those things for the Lakers. And again, it was only 10 minutes that he played, but he still came in there and he looked good. And I want to see as he continues and him and DeAndre kind of continue to play together. I want to see how the Lakers use both of these guys as we kind of go forward. I think for the Lakers, having 2 bigs really opens things up, especially given, obviously with Anthony Davis, I don't really know where his health's at this point, but at some point, if the Mavs end up making the playoffs, you'll have to take him on. The Spurs with Wemby, you have to go up against that. Having multiple bigs, I think, makes a huge difference for the Lakers. And I know some people have said, hey, maybe the Lakers should make a trade before the trade deadline. I don't think that's realistic. I think more likely, as long as Ayton and Jackson Hayes kind of stay healthy, those will be the 2 guys. And Hayes has proven himself in the past as a good number 2 big. So I think as we go forward, I want to see how he kind of proves himself. And against the Grizzlies, this is not his second game back from injury. This is the game he has to kind of step up. And I want to see what he kind of do out there. I want to see him get at least 2 blocks in this game. Maybe a steal. Point-wise, it doesn't really matter how many points he scores. Although I would love to see if he can catch some sort of lobs from Luka if he plays or from Austin Reeves in those pick-and-roll situations. I want to see him be a real lob threat, right? A real one. Not just he does it once, but I want to see him, get after it and show the athleticism that he actually has and score off of that. Another thing I want to see is can Jake LaRavia continue to play the way we saw him play in this most recent game. 10 of 11, 27 points. Really, really nice game for LaRavia. But I think it's unrealistic to think he's going to go 10 of 11 again and have 27. But if he shoots 11 shots, can he get to 20 points? Or can he take more shots? Can he create his own buckets as well? I haven't really seen him do that this season. Obviously against the Minnesota Timberwolves, he scored a lot of points, but some of those are also catch and shoot off of Austin Reeves creating. I want to see if LaRavia can step up and make his own buckets, right, or create his own shots. It's something that he had done in the past, and given he's still super young, we don't really know what the upside is, right? With a guy like Jake LaRavia and then Knecht, just continue to do some of what he did in this most recent game, get that confidence back. Vandy, Rui, just continue to kind of see what they can do. And then, of course, just finally just talking about DeAndre Ayton. I want to see Ayton just continue to build. I think Ayton he's kind of like that wild card for the Lakers. You can have Luka, you can have LeBron, you can have Austin Reeves, and that's great. But DeAndre Ayton's the most important piece for this team for it to kind of come together. And I'm not saying he's the best player, but for it to come together and for this team to actually win a championship, DeAndre Ayton's a key part of this. We saw last year how the Lakers struggled as it kind of got into the playoff series that they had. They struggled handling the bigs, and even down the stretch of that season last year as it kind of came to a close, Jackson Hayes started to get into foul trouble. And even then, Hayes himself isn't like great in terms of offensive production. Ayton can score, right? He has a really nice fadeaway jump shot, right? Mid-range. He can score as well. I want to see Ayton just continue to develop, and let's see what this guy can really show us as we kind of go forward. Can he get to that? And he's never technically been an All-Star, but he was an All-NBA rookie his rookie season, and in that year, I thought he looked really, really good. Maybe he becomes an All-Star, right? Like a true All-Star player this season. He's looked really good this season so far. Let's see if he can just kind of continue on that pace. Let's wrap it up, man. Let's talk a little bit about LeBron James. The situation here that Shams obviously is going to kind of talk about. But he said LeBron James' commitment to the Lakers is, quote, very much in the air. Now, I'm going to play the actual clip for you guys so you guys can see it in its entirety. Check this out.
You give us one thing before you leave. Drop just one thing.
What do you need?
I need one. So one scoop.
Give us to look at Giannis.
Okay.
Trae Young. I think keep an eye on them.
Trae.
Keep an eye on him.
Is Trae coming to New York?
No.
Trae didn't extend his contract in the off season.
Okay.
He's got 1 year left. He's a free agent next summer.
Okay.
And he can hit free agency potentially if he opts out.
Where do you think Trae's going?
I mean, he could stay in Atlanta, but he's going to have a market.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Trae Young here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Giannis, Trae Young, and then as the season goes on, there's always guys that'll pop up. And we still don't know where LeBron James is going to be. Is he going to finish his career with the Lakers, or is he going to be somewhere else? I think it's very much up in the air.
You think he would change teams?
I mean, I think that I'm not sure that he knows exactly how the end is going to play out. Could it be with the Lakers? Sure. But he's a free agent at the end of the season. So if he's going to continue to play, there's clearly a chance he's somewhere else.
So there you guys have it, right? Shams is basically putting it out there that LeBron James's, commitment and essentially his future with the Lakers is very much up in the air. And he was talking about guys that could be moved, right? Talked about Trae Young, which I think that probably makes sense. I think Trae Young at some point will be traded this season. Probably not to the Lakers. Of course, Giannis, I think, also ends up getting moved. And then he kind of just throws it in there that LeBron James is another guy that could potentially be moved. And, I understand exactly what Shams is saying. And, I think LeBron James is such a great basketball player. And he's one of the greatest players ever, if not the greatest. I remember when I was younger, I used to watch LeBron James. His very first game against the Kings. My brother actually went to it. I'm near Sacramento, about an hour north of Sacramento. My brother went to that game, and I remember just watching LeBron, and he was different, and you just saw it right away. And he's over 40 years old now. He's no longer the same type of player he once was. And for Shams to say his commitment to the Lakers is very much up in the air is basically saying what I think a lot of us are already kind of thinking. Shams puts it out there that LeBron James is literally in his final year of his contract with the Lakers. $52.6 million is his cap hit. The Lakers don't have a ton of, wiggle space within their cap space, right? They don't have a lot of wiggle room. The Lakers can't just go out and pay someone $40 million. Someone like Austin Reeves, for example, who's going to want to get paid after this season. So the Lakers are going to have to pick and choose. Is it Austin Reeves or is it LeBron James? 41 years old, LeBron James. Is it LeBron James 41 you keep for another year while you probably lose Austin Reeves at that point? Or do you say, hey, we're going to move off of LeBron and then we're going to make that commitment to Reeves? I think Reeves is easy the steal when it comes to like contract and cap hits per production. He's a steal in the NBA right now. He's a great basketball player and he's only gotten better every single year. And we're kind of seeing what the Lakers look like where LeBron's not out there, and it's really run through Reeves and even Luka. Right over the first couple games, we saw Luka and Reeves together. The Lakers are going to have to make that decision, but the thing is they don't have to make that decision right now. Luka's under contract, LeBron's under contract, Austin Reeves is under contract, at least for this season. Those guys are under contract. They don't have to worry about that. And, it's crazy because Shams is kind of creating a storyline just to create one. But I also think sometimes, we take these things as being part of the media. We run with these storylines. But, like, the Lakers don't have to make this decision right now. And honestly, I think most of us can agree if it's between a 42-year-old LeBron James or a young, in his prime, Austin Reeves. That, too, I don't think Reeves is going to get $52 million against the cap specifically. I think he gets a lot less than that, maybe like around 40. To me, I look at Austin Reeves and I say the value makes more sense with him, but that's in a year from now. And I think for the Lakers, Rob Pelinka has kind of shown us that he's done a lot of things the smart way. He's invested in the future, right? At least a couple years ago is the future. And, some of that's kind of playing out well. And I think for the Lakers, they're in a great spot right now. And they don't have to worry about this at all. I think LeBron James is 100% committed to this team, although some people don't agree with it, right? Like, hey, he has this injury and we don't really know a timeline. But the thing is part of this could also be just for the benefit of the Lakers to make it so no one really knows when LeBron James is going to come back, right? There's no team that will be able to tell. For example, you might have 3 games against a team within 3 weeks, and that team might not have to think about LeBron James, but then he might just come back because he's healthy, he's good to go, right? Think about what's happening with Luka right now, right? Kind of gives the Lakers that advantage. Luka was obviously hurt. He had the finger injury. He was supposed to be out for 7 days. And the Grizzlies thought we're going to have an easy game against the Lakers, and out of nowhere, Luka's potentially back. Right? I know he's probable, but he'll probably end up playing. So it just kind of goes to that benefit, that advantage, and not to just put everything out there in open air. Right? So for the Lakers to be a little secret with LeBron James and the injury and when he's going to get back, I think it's just smart basketball. I think it's a smart way to run an organization. Putting everything out there in the media doesn't make sense. Do I question if LeBron James is committed to the Lakers? I do not. I think LeBron James wants to win another ring, and there's not a lot of better options right now than where the Lakers essentially are. You have Luka, you have Reeves, you have LeBron when he gets back. Those are 3 top 3 players at their positions. You have Ayton and then guys like LaRabia and Vandy and Rui are very good role players, and that doesn't include some of the guys even beyond that when it comes to role players, right? I think the Lakers are in a great spot. Let me know what you guys think, man. What do you guys think about the storyline about LeBron? What are you guys' thoughts about Luka and Marcus Smart? Obviously, most likely going to play today. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate all the support. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.